Hey everybody, I am on location at my favorite coffee shop in Kansas City. It is Headrush Coffee Shop, and they have two locations. The first one that I experienced was on North Oak, just south of 72nd Street. And then the second one they opened up is in Briarcliff. And so I am here with the owners, Eric and Nancy Schneider. And the fun thing about this was I didn't know when I first started going to Headrush because I didn't know who owned it. But Eric and I actually went to the same high school. I graduated with his sister. And so that made it even extra special because I already loved it. Pre-COVID, it actually doubled as my office space, and I would do study and writing and all that kind of stuff. But COVID kind of changed all of that. But thank you guys for doing this. I'm sharing my favorite things. Fred loves KC, and you're my first Friday favorite and my favorite coffee shop in Kansas City. And I love coffee. So
that's great. Thanks, Fred.
You bet. So tell me, what year did you start Headrush?
So we opened up very late 2012, soft opening, and then paused, and then the hard opening was January 7th or 6th of 2013.
Okay. And that was the North Oak location?
That was the Gladstone, yeah.
And then what year did the Briarcliff location open?
Briarcliff opened up in mid-2017.
Okay.
Right. Actually, the last day of the Memorial.
Yeah, that's right.
Memorial Day of 2017.
Right.
Memorial Day 2017. Okay,
Exactly.
cool. And what made you start Headrush? What was your idea behind it? What did you want to see happen? What was your vision?
Okay, great question. I did commercial insurance for 25 years, handled national accounts, and high stress, and was really burning out the last, let's say, 10 years that I did it. But ironically, whenever I'd have to work at night, Nancy and I would go to a coffee shop. And just in talking to her and doing it quite often, you know, at one point it dawned on me, man, I love the vibe, I love the environment. I could see myself doing it. And so I talked to her about it, and she said, hey, that's a possibility. And then it really got to the point where we both agreed now is the time to put that career behind if I wanted to be a happy person again, and jump ship and started a coffee shop.
So what was your hopes? Just to serve good coffee, or was there even a little bit more attached to it?
Yeah, one thing that I know Nancy, if she was answering, she would go straight to was the sense of community. We really like that about a coffee shop. Obviously, I'm having withdrawal from that now because one of my favorite things when we're in the shop, just like I'd always talk to you, Fred, when you were there, it's one thing I really enjoy about the coffee shop. And I would always go around and talk to customers and get to know them. But it's kind of that part of it. I love coffee. A lot of people like to be a connoisseur of wine. I did the same thing with coffee. And it's, in some regard, kind of the same. You have good years of coffee in certain areas of the world, and the next year may not be good. It's a lot like wines. So.
Interesting. Okay. So it seems to me like it's been really successful. You opened up a second store. As it's developed, what do you love about Headrush?
So now it's my turn, I think. So
yeah.
I think the biggest part about Headrush really to me is people. Everything comes down to people. So it's including the customers and the people that work for us.
For sure.
And also Eric and me. So it's like to me, it's just like it's a community of the coffee lovers and tea lovers. So it's really about serving this welcoming space. So like you were saying before the COVID, this is a space for a lot of creative people, like writers, like artists, like priests,
Yeah.
all sorts of people come together, share a cup of coffee, do their work. And I think that's sort of like our focus is to share this community together with the people who have a passion for people and for community and for tea and more. So.
And I'll just extend in on that real quick. That also extends to the employees. I mean, she's talking about the customers, but I know other people that own restaurants and all, and sometimes they perceive their employees as being headaches, and there's always this and always that. We have like the greatest staff. I love being around them. They just make my day brighter, and so it's a people game.
Exactly. I think that's also kind of keep us going. Like you're saying, keep us strong and keep us succeeding is because people coming together, sharing this same version. It's like a shared version for people talking to tea. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah.
I have loved the community aspect of Headrush, and I bump into people I know almost every time I visit Headrush, and then I meet people at Headrush for appointments. And pre-COVID, it was also doubled as a space to work and write and think and read and journal and all that kind of stuff. So I love the community dynamic that you have built around Headrush. I know even your son, Joel, is part of the environment because he's an artist and a photographer, and you feature his work.
Right, and he helped open it up and worked with us for 3 years, but now he does that full time now.
Excellent. So how has it gone during the pandemic? Because that's been such a radical change. People can't, be seated indoors. How are you guys doing during this 10 months of pandemic? And it looks like it's...
Let me hit it real briefly,
Yeah.
and then I'll let you dovetail in on it. So first and foremost is we are a small business, and we don't have a large staff of employees, and we truly do care about the customers. I would say that we've been approaching the pandemic conservatively. Our lobbies are still closed. It's driving us nuts, but the last thing we want to do is all of a sudden have a number of employees with COVID, and we have to shut down, and their health may be at stake, and it wouldn't be a good look to the community that we serve. That being said, obviously with winter coming, we are having meetings internally and brainstorming. Do we open up a few tables because it's going to be cold and people need to order and get their coffee, and how long can they sit there? But without going into details, because I don't have the answer, we're still working through that. But we're conservative because we care.
Exactly. I think pandemic is very hard for a small business like us. So my empathy and appreciation for all the small business out there. But I think Eric and I talked, and our team talked, number one priority for us is to keep us safe. So based on that priority, we're, like you're saying, very conservative and try to do the best we can. But I think really it boils down to, people realize we're putting all of our heart into it. And there's a huge groundswell of support for local and small businesses. So that has really helped us keep going,
Yes.
even becoming stronger after in some sense.
That's
and
great.
We really be communicating to the customers too. Really want to stay as a positive force.
Right.
I'll just throw in, we kind of feel with that conservative nature, there's a Chinese saying, it's real popular in China, but it's you've got to taste bitter to taste sweet sometimes. And so we realize this is just a season. It's a longer season than we'd like, but it will end. We'll be able to open up the lobbies. We just have to hang in there until then.
Yes, I really appreciate how you've approached it. Both locations have drive-throughs,
Right.
and both locations have outdoor seating as well. So you can still, wear your mask and do social distancing and experience Headrush through those means. So I'm really thankful for that. My favorite drink is very simple. It's a hot vanilla latte. But my second one is chai tea latte with a little bit of vanilla in it.
Right.
And I've also experimented with a lot of the teas, but I go on phases in teas. Like sometimes I go really crazy on teas and then I'll drop completely back and stop. What do you recommend for the newcomer to Headrush?
I'm going to let Nancy answer this one, but I will comment. Everybody knows Fred's drink. When he walks in, I don't care what barista it is, they ring him up without asking. So.
Right. So I think, for newcomers, I would definitely highly recommend Headrush. It bears our namesake, and I think it really speaks about what we do a lot in one single drink. So number one, we are crazy about coffee, and Headrush has 2 double shots in it, so that's like 4 ounces of the espresso. And I think for a lot of coffee lovers, I think that gives just enough energy to keep it going. So it's a coffee lover's drink, and it's like nothing else anywhere you can find. So I think it's highly recommended for a coffee drink. If you are tea drinkers, we're really known for matcha latte, and that is, to me, one of the best drinks anywhere. And we believe the quality of matcha is super important. So our matcha is always Japanese produced from a century-old tea factory. So it's a very pleasant, it's very energetic drink. So yeah, for tea lovers, matcha latte is super popular. Lavender matcha latte is the most popular choice.
You get your tea from where?
So basically, we work with a lot of tea importers from all over the region. So we have teas from every single tea producing corner of the world.
Oh, wow.
So it started from China. So I'm from China. It's one of the birthplace of the tea. So we have a lot of teas from my province and also other provinces in China. They will also have tea
Which
from,
province is that?
It's Yunnan province.
Okay.
So it's the southwest corner of China, and it's the birthplace of tea, and it's also very much known for pour tea. So pour is the name of place. It's sort of like a champagne. You have to be producing champagne to become champagne. The pour is from the pour region in China. So it's a fantastic region. We have a high quality tea. So I grew up drinking tea every single morning. So with my father, with my uncle. So tea is something that kind of brought people together. So to me, having a Headrush is to offer a place where people come together.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's kind of like a match made in heaven. She does the teas, I do the coffee. It works really good. I do not mess with their teas or.
What about your coffee? Where do you get your coffee from?
We are a micro roaster, independent coffee shop. And so we roast all the coffee that we serve, and we're not big enough to where we have an import license, and so we work with green coffee importers. The only thing they do is import green coffee. They don't do widgets or anything else. That's the only thing they do. People on staff that give me recommendations, and then from those recommendations, I'll select some. They send me free samples. And we taste them, and then we find the ones that we want. Mm-hmm. And we do a lot of fair trade organic, a lot of micro lots, and like Nancy, it comes from green tea importers, various green tea importers. So it's a process.
Awesome. So tell me, what's your favorite drink, Eric, and what's your favorite drink, Nancy?
You want to go first, Eric?
My favorite drink, so for years when we opened, black coffee and black espresso, and I still love that. But a number of years ago, I got the cold brew bug, and I love black cold brew, and so I drink that all day. Occasionally I'm not in the mood, and I'll have some hot coffee or espresso. But I really like the cold brew because it's very smooth. It's lower in acidity than hot brewed coffee, so it doesn't cause you any acid problems, and it's very refreshing. I love it.
So for me, it kind of goes back to my cultural heritage. So our province is really known for producing a lot of green teas. So my favorite drink is by far my favorite is it's called Sencha Superior. It's a green tea from Japan, and I really love it because the way the Japanese people process their green tea is, instead of in China we roast the tea leaves, so it's a little more mellow. But with the Japanese green tea, it's steamed, so it's preserved the perfect freshness. So it's almost tastes like, a little bit like a little grassy, but it's very full of the vitamin C, full of the this delicious spring taste of it. So yeah, that's my favorite tea, and to me, it's the best way to start the morning is to have a cup of the green tea.
Very good.
I always kid her at home because Japan and China are very competitive toward each other, and she's Chinese, but yet her favorite green tea is from Japan. So.
Well, thank you guys for doing this, and I appreciate your service to the community and how you've helped create community and bring value to the community and help people connect and give expression to some of the artistic personalities of our community, and just people have been, have made friendships through your Headrush coffee shop and tea. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Fred. Enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You bet. Thank you.
Yeah.